This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so until yesterday, we were seeing while loop, for loop, correct?
Yep.
And 1 second, we were writing small functions like even the 5-minute, fifth day run. I used a lot of if else conditions. I used a while loop. I used a for loop. I used print statements. So until now, we have practiced all the basic operators. If you see, Python training session. So if you see, we would have come until indentation, while loop, for loop. Okay, assert we will cover. Break, continue, pass, everything we passed. Range, for loops and everything. Correct? Until here we have done.
I actually can't.
You don't see my screen? Okay, it is not reflecting. Okay, fine. Wait. Let me stop my screen and share. Okay, you see my screen, right?
It's breaking. It's not the full screen.
It's not visible. No, I think it
It's
is. Even I
visible.
can see what.
Yeah, it's not on the full. Yeah.
Yeah. It is not on the full window. I am
Yeah.
aware on that. A little part is to the left.
Okay.
Okay.
thought it
So
was on a
if you
full
see
window.
until here we are done. Even
Okay.
example for loopings are also we are done. Only assert is there. Assert I'll cover in the last topic when we are doing Selenium. Put
Okay.
the topic number. Let me get to this.
Okay.
Okay, here I'll show you what is assert because that is more relevant here. Okay.
Okay.
But right now you guys are covered until here.
Okay. With examples of for looping.
Yeah, everything. If you just go through also everything I've covered completely in detail also.
Okay.
So next would be the functions. Okay.
Okay.
Now it is a different. Until now you were playing the first ball where you got out. Also you will play again as a batsman because it is your bat. But the point is now let's get into the real story. If you are out, you are out. So the difficulty will increase now. Okay, that was a bad joke which I've cracked. Okay, but even though let's get into it. So right now, okay, you wrote something like a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2. Okay.
Yep.
Your program, when you write a print or write a plus b, it will end here. You
Yep.
cannot reuse it again.
Yep.
This is not a function. This is just a simple program. You are adding two numbers, you are printing out the result.
Yep.
But what if someone wants to really use this program again? Okay, like the fifth day problem. Fifth business day, you have to run it. If I write without a function, what will happen? It is just that 10-line code, you run it and you forget it. And someone, if tomorrow Nagaraj office also is facing the same situation or they are having same condition to build, you cannot give that function and replicate. Okay.
Okay.
Directly, that is just a program. But writing functions, the reusability of the code will increase. Okay. If you see print type of A, the answer would be class of integer.
Yeah.
Because Python has already written, whoever has coded Python, they have already written classes inside it. That's why we are able to reuse it pretty simply. Like a is equal to 1, you do whatever operations on a. Like this.
Yeah.
So we have to get into that mode now. You write a function that needs to be reusable by anyone else also. So let's see it, how to do it. Okay. This DEF is called as a syntax, okay, for defining a function.
Oh.
Define sum of numbers n1 n2. You want to add two numbers, okay?
Okay.
print of n1 plus n2.
Okay.
Whatever you wrote here, a plus b, this 3 lines.
Yeah.
1 second. Okay, this 3 lines is similar to these 2 lines. Any questions on that? Okay, let me write that here only. Suppose n1 is equal to 1, n2 is equal to 2. Sorry. Print n1, n2. My take is this 3 lines is equal to these 2 lines of code. Any questions on that?
So before in a list we are defining it individually. Now we are defining everything in a list.
We are defining in a function.
Okay.
So def is called which defines the function name.
Correct. This is the syntax to define a function.
Oh, okay. So okay, def def. Okay.
Def. This is definition. This is the function. Okay. These are the variables within the function.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see how it works. Okay, this one we will put it aside. We will put it as a comment. You can do comments like this also. 3 codes. It is also a comment. This also is a comment.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Backslash
or the hash mark also is a comment. This is also a comment. This is also a comment.
star backslash. I don't.
Sorry.
Slash star backslash star. That
No, that is not a comment. That is not a comment.
Oh, that is only
these two.
equal. Yeah.
Only
Star,
this one.
backslash star.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one, either hash mark or the 3 quotes. Double quotes or the single quote. It is a comment. Okay. So now let's run this and see. Okay. When you run this, you won't get any answer because see, you did not pass any variables. You did not call the function, but this function is already there. If you just put sum of numbers dot something and call it. See, it will tell you this is a function. Okay. Within that, you write something. Okay, here. Okay, I ran this. Let's put sum of nums and then do this. See, previously you did not get this doc string, right? Now I wrote this line, you got a doc string. Okay, let's show you. Might be you would have missed it. Remove this line, run this program. Okay. Now when you press shift tab at sum nums, there is no doc string, boss. You see here?
Yeah.
No doc string. When you put some comments within the function, run it. When you run it and you press function में shift tab, this is a function to add 2 numbers. Clear?
Yep.
So why this doc string is useful? Okay, the good answer is you write a difficult function. Suppose you are writing that 5th business day formula, Pawan.
Okay.
You add doc strings to it. Okay.
Okay.
Like this is a 5th business day solution wherein we have to run the load on accepting a Saturday or a Sunday or a public holiday, and the day should be 5th day in the calendar month, excluding those days. So suppose when someone Nagaraju, you give that function, he will put some 5th business day solution, and then he'll press a shift tab. You will see the doc string. He will understand what is happening within that.
Okay.
So this is the use of writing a doc string. Now let's get back to sum of nums and pass 2 variables to it. Suppose I will pass 10 and 11. Okay. Run this. We will see what is the answer. You got some answer here. How?
Yeah. Print of n plus 1, n plus n2.
Okay. So you mean to say because I'm passing these two variables into this function and I'm doing print of n1 plus n2.
Yes.
Wonderful. So you guys understood. This is called as calling the function.
Yep.
So
my question,
instead of writing, yes.
that def means nothing but you should be giving some function name there. Def means after
Correct.
def. So
Writing the function syntax is start with def, write the function name, and whatever variables you want to pass.
So tomorrow, if I'm seeing something in some program, def means okay, this guy is starting
Defining
some.
a function.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. A simple point. If you go to any Stack Overflow, once you Google, they will write functions. Def, some function name, some variables within that, and they will write some program.
This def cannot be used for any other purpose, right?
No, not at all. You cannot write. You cannot do like this. Def is equal to 1. Don't do it. That is
So
silly.
right now I have a project which is on Groovy. So all are like def. I don't know why they are writing.
That is function, I assume.
Now I understood.
Okay, you guys use Groovy for what, Nagaraju?
For same like programming only. Sometimes Java.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Because
so I use for purpose.
your voice is breaking on.
So yeah. So we use a tool called JMeter. So in that it's basically a Java friendly tool.
Okay.
So, Groovy we use Groovy scripting because the memory footprint will be utilized very less. So that then we use that Groovy script in that.
Okay. So why I asked you question, even for us there is a scheduler called Atomic because this is the most frequent word that I use, Atomic. So this Atomic, we are having one Groovy built-in email setup. Okay. What that email setup does for us, if we have a few tasks, like suppose this guy is open Tableau right now. When he has opened the screen, I could see.
Yeah.
That is a reporting tool.
Yeah.
Correct. So for us also there is one reporting tool. Every time I log in, I put some filter on the application. What will happen? My ID on the backend on the database, it is applying the filter. Correct.
Yeah.
So if I don't close that filter or don't release that filter, what will happen? That filter is consistently there whenever I log in. Correct. Similar way, if I open 10 tabs and I put some weird filters all the time, what is happening? My particular ID is creating those threads in the backend on the SQL database. So what will happen? My ID is creating stuck threads. Correct. So what will happen? It will create a lot of slowness on the machine. Might be some similar like me. Some 500 users are there. They are doing similar activity. What will happen? Their application will become slow. Once you log in, it will take a lot of time to load because you are having so many filters. So this Groovy setup we have used, and what we have done, we have written a simple Python program for resetting my ID. There is a manual task which we do. You go click over the few buttons and reset, pass my SSO ID, reset, it will reset my ID. So what will happen? All those filters will be released. So this Groovy setup along with Python we have used, and simple email you have to write. Go compose email, subject line is reset me, and we have a specific email ID. That's it. It will go reset the ID and I'll get back my mail. Your ID is reset. Simple solution, right? So later point in time, you can think of such kind of things because you are already having a Groovy setup. Okay, just for your knowledge, FIA. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, now there are this I'm adding two variables, boss. So what if I want to add 3 variables? What can I do? I want Nagaraju to answer.
Comma NP.
Okay, wonderful. So what if I will pass only two variables? What will happen, Nagaraju?
Nothing will happen. That will execute because in print you used N1 and N2. So
Okay. Pawan, any answer from your side?
I think it will say missing variable.
Okay, Pawan is telling it is missing a variable. Nagaraju, it is telling nothing will happen.
you have to execute. I'm saying yeah. Missing one required position on the. Okay, when you define, you need to use it.
Yes. So what if you are having three variables defined? Okay. You need to make sure you are passing three variables.
Yeah. Okay.
So you pass a 12, it will work properly, no problem. 10 plus 11
But
plus
the
12.
answer would be 21 only.
Answer is 21 because your operation is incorrect here. Okay. Now, okay, wonderful. Your N1 is, I passed three variables, man. Okay, I passed 10, I passed 11, I passed 12. How come Python is taking N1, N2, N3? How come it is reading? Why my answer is 21? Why not 23?
0, 1, 2. In an array form, right?
I didn't get the question, sorry.
You are having three variables, correct?
Yes.
You are passing three variables.
Yes.
Why Python is returning you the answer of 21? Why not 23?
Because the N1 variable and the N2 variable are getting called on, and then those two only variables are getting added, right? We are never calling the, even though we are defining the N3 variable, we are never calling the N3 variable in any of our print statements. So that is the reason we are not getting.
Okay, my point is, why not N1 is 12?
So always it would be 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So the index 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So
Position. It's on the position. It is on the position. We cannot call indexes. Indexes are until list or tuple. These are called as positions. So now N1, N2, N3, N1 is 10, N2 is 11, N3 is 12. Okay, it will read in that way only. You both are right. This is called as positional arguments. So suppose you change the number to 12 here and you put the 10 here. Your answer is 23. Okay.
So a small doubt. So right now we defined definition some nums n1, n2, n3, and then enter, and then can we write n1 is equals to 10, n2 is equals to.
We are getting into it. We are getting into it.
Okay.
Okay. So now, right, you are having three arguments. You are having three arguments here. What if I pass a fourth argument?
You need to define also.
So correct. Now this function is in front of you. What if this function is in the background and you have to pass the variables? So how you will do it? How you will tell a user pass only three arguments for this? Okay. Shift tab, sum nums. Okay. What you will know here?
In the signature, we would know, right? How many variables we are having.
Okay, I have the habit of using reading the docstring. Then
I didn't get it. So habit of
I have the reading docstring. This will say this is a function to add two numbers.
We can always write it in our comment section, like we have to pass three variables and it has to be numbers, characters, or something like that.
Correct. That's what my point is. This is a function to add three numbers, and then please pass in three variables to it. Okay, always do this. This is a good practice. Okay.
But we could always know in our signature as well, right? Like shift tab.
Yeah, You will know. But my point is, Pavan,
Yeah.
when
I
you know
got
the function name,
Yeah.
you will understand. But when you are calling it in some other automatic scheduler or something,
Yeah.
you won't know it.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
So now, why this is returning, man? What is this? If I don't pass any variables, you pass just some nums.
We would need variables, right?
What
So
is
that's
this?
some
This is
function
called as a
name.
function.
N1 to
Behind, correct. This is inbuilt by Python.
Okay.
This is a main function. So it is telling you this is a main function, some nums n1,
Okay.
n2, n3, and when you press shift tab, you will get the doc string now. You can open and read it. This
Okay.
is a function to add 3 numbers. Please pass in 3 variables to it. Okay, understood until here, right? We can progress further, right? Okay, let's get into the next point. Okay, why do all this hangama now? Okay, you wanted to add 2 numbers. Blindly you write a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2. Why you want to define a function? You tell me.
First
Any
simple
good thing
thing,
about it?
reusability.
Okay, wonderful. Suppose one person is there, crazy person like someone like me, assume. Okay, what I will do? I will do print of n2 minus n3.
Yeah.
Print
Okay.
of n1, n2, n2 into n3. Print of n1 divided by n3. Print of n2 to the power of n3. Operations. See, boss, when you are getting some blue color here, no, this is just a defining function. And don't
Okay.
take operation definition as a variable. Okay, that's why I wrote math operation here. Okay,
Okay.
now what I will do for my convenience, this is addition of
Addition.
numbers.
So you're writing inside.
Sorry.
You're writing inside the print statement. Okay.
Yes, correct. Addition I am doing. This is like you remember, right? Do any operation, put a comma and put double quotes and write whatever you want to. You write Nagaraj also, it will give you that.
It can be front and back, right? It doesn't have to be at the after.
No, it doesn't matter. Sequence doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is minus of n2 and n3. Okay. This is the multiplication of 3 numbers. This is division of n1 and n3. Now the doc string has to be modified. Instead of addition, you can say math operations. If you want to write in very detail, you can copy this print statements and add it over here. Okay.
Okay.
Then math operations of 1, 2, 3. Let's run it. Simple, right?
Can you give 1, 2, 0?
Let's give it. You can give everything, but the answers will be different. What has happened? You asked me to divide by 0. No? It told you 0 division error.
How can we like get around?
You want to overcome this problem?
Yeah, division by 0.
That we will cover in the try and else part. Okay.
Okay.
Try catch function will be there in Java, right? So that similar thing will be there in.
I don't know Java code, so.
Okay. Try catch will be there actually.
Okay.
That we will cover in that point. If
Okay.
such kind of situation comes in, we will write a thing wherein if it is division by 0, skip this part. It'll
Okay.
answer. So right now, if you write 4, you got the answer right.
Yeah.
So we have made this code so reusable that instead of writing, if you had to write this thing, you would have had to write 15 lines, right? N1 is equal to 1, N2 is equal to 2, N1 by N2. N1 is equal to 2, N2 is equal to 3, N2 minus N3. You have to write like this, right? Some 15 lines at least. But you have used a simple function. You passed in 3 variables and you gave in the multiple operations within one line each. And with the proper docstring and with the proper print statement. Your life has been made simple, right? Agreed on this point?
Another spot out. So can we give a list of numbers 1, 2, 3, and then we can't do the same operations?
Sorry, you
So in the list
continue.
it will have all the indexes, right? All the, so you can choose the first index and then add it, like first index and the second index. Can we do it? I'm not sure, so I was just
I'm not
curious.
getting your question. Can you write it and show to me?
No, a simple thing like instead of like defining in a function, can we write a list of numbers? The list, right? Define a variable with a list. L is 1, comma 2, comma 3. And then this list will have indexes, right? 0, 1, 2, right? So L of 0 is equal to, so we can like, can we write like print of L of 0 plus L of 1?
Yes, you can write list operation, that is.
Yeah. Print
Correct
of,
one, but you cannot call this as a function, no? You cannot call it. It will end in this cell only.
Yeah. I was thinking in a different way. It's like, can we also do it in terms of list as well, right? That is not a reusability, but we can still, we can achieve
No,
in
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
In that
See,
one.
that's what I'm saying. You can write simply like this also. N1 is equal to 1. Sorry. N1 is equal to 1. N2 is equal to 2. N3 is equal to 3. You can do like this also, Pawan. N1 plus N2 you can do. Or else you can do L of 0 plus L of 1. You can do like this
Yeah.
also. Your
Okay.
motto is same. Your motto is same. It'll give you the correct answer. This one also will give you correct answer. This one also will give you the correct answer.
Yeah.
This one also will give you the correct answer. But I would use a function because function is always reusable, right?
Yeah. At any point of the code, we can use it.
See, this matter, let's take it to the bottom of the page. Okay. Okay, your point, let's get to this. Okay, it'll suppose L of 0, L of 1, right?
Yeah.
Print of, then print of N1 plus N2, correct?
Yeah.
You got the answers, correct?
Yeah.
Now, this cell, how will I call here? You tell me.
So we can call functions in a different pages as well.
Yes, that is
it's
the
also in
advantage.
the,
That is the
okay.
advantage. See, we did not get into the import part yet, correct? Import of something we are not writing on the top.
Yeah.
Something like this. Import of something we are not writing. Import pandas as PD. We did not get into yet. Once you get into, you will understand the use of it. See, now
Okay.
this function, suppose
Yeah.
let's take this then. Let's take this.
Math operation. Huh? You should write like that, import math operation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow, where is my demo session? Okay, let's go here. I'll put it, suppose math operation dot py. Okay, now take your location. Let's take new Anaconda notebook. Okay, because we are in the same page, you might argue again later point in time you are in the same page. Let's get into the page. Okay,
వేరే పైథాన్ డిస్టర్బ్ చేస్తే సారీ అయ్యే ఏం లేదు నేను గట్టిగా అరుస్తున్నా కదా.
you got it right. So
can we pass the variables over here? Yeah.
Yes, if I don't pass the variables here, save this file like this. Okay, now math operation of 1 2 3 module object is not callable. Hey. 1 into 3. 1 second, something is wrong here. Let's rename this. Sorry. Okay, here you should pass 1 and 1 and 2 and 3. What happened to this? Name n1 is not defined.
Math operations we change it to test, right?
No, I'm just checking whether I can call with the file name or I just call with the test. See, it understood that you're calling math operation means this Python file, but
Okay.
it was throwing you did not define n1, n2, n3. So let's see. So this is a module, right? It is telling you you cannot call it. 1 second. Math operation. Okay. n1 is equal to 1, n2 is equal to 2, n3 is equal to 3. Why? Why it is throwing this error to me? Session perfect. Anything that you catch what mistake I'm doing here?
One is not defined.
Why are you
Sorry? Why are you
initializing inside that test?
Sorry, I did not get your point.
Print? You did not do print.
No, print doesn't matter because function already has the print statements, right? So when I call this module, I mean this file, math operation, it should understand I'm calling this. Okay, let's pass distance here. Module object is not callable. 1 second. Let's see what mistake I'm doing here.
Oh, socket. How is it connected to your local?
Which one?
Link, right?
Yeah, you are doing everything in browser, right? So how will it connect to your? You save the file in your local machine, right?
No, this is not server. This is Chrome. This is local Anaconda only. It will begin as a server, and you will get the launch in a this thing, Chrome or a Firefox, whichever your default this thing. 1 second, boss. Let me fix this up. We'll see why.
You see on the top only saying socket level import something.
No, that is a different thing. I'll tell you. Wait, that is a different error. Let's see this.
Hmm.
1 second. Let me get to this. Okay. Import the file name, math operation. Demo session. Math operation.py. Okay, fine. Then restart this kernel. 1 second. Why did us throwing that error, man? Seriously. Import math operation. Math operation dot test of 1, 2, 3. Why is it so? Come on, this is ridiculous. Three function key variables and I'm calling it here. Nothing is wrong. I got it. That was Anaconda's error. Okay, boys, let's get it. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Nagaraju.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this was the basic function, right?
Mm.
So my point was I will write a function, and
Mm.
Pawan's point is I will write a list, I will add it. Correct?
Mm.
So what I did, I wrote this function of this thing test of n1, n2, n3,
Mm.
and I saved it as a math operation in one particular folder location.
Mm.
Okay, wherever my current Python working directory. After that, I called this Python file
Mhm.
in some other page.
Mm.
I don't even have any relevance to this whatever current this Anaconda page Jupyter notebook. I called it here.
Mm.
Then I called this Python file dot test. This is a module now.
Oh, okay.
This Python file is a module now. This math operation dot test of any three numbers. This function was written as test.
Module function.
This is a module. We will get to it because we just started it. We just jumped to so many things and we got into it.
Function is different from module.
Yes, correct. This is a function.
Yeah. Which one is function? Module math
This
operation.
is this test is a function.
Okay, clear.
Math operation is a module now.
Mm.
Inside this, you can write one more function also. Define def of. Tell me something, man. What you want to do?
Yeah,
Test
subtract.
one of.
Something.
Suppose we will write two variables. Okay. See the difficulty in programming in Notepad. You won't get the tabs or the spaces directly. So you have to give it properly. Print of.
So in definition, right, we can give anything, right? We can write the whole logic of our thing, if loops,
Here,
while loops.
yeah, you can do it. Okay, let's see that also. Suppose a definition of, I want to compare whether n1 is equal to n2. If n2 is equal to n3, okay,
Yeah.
print, this is normal equal to, this is double equal to, print both the variables are equal. Okay, else print both are not same. Okay, let's take one more thing. Test2 of L is equal to 1, 2, 3. Print L of 0. Okay,
So
we
in
have
the
1, 2,
test
3,
two,
3
there are
different.
no variables, right?
I did not pass it. Let's see what will happen. See, we are for these two we are passing variable. This one we are not passing any variable. What will it do? We will see. Okay, just for an
Okay.
example for you both.
Okay.
So let's get to this, Nagaraju. First of all, there is some problem with my browser. That's why it is acting up weird. Even though I was doing correct statements, it threw me wrong answers some time back. It was not giving me proper statements. Okay, once my browser is restart. Okay, first of all, I'm changing my directory to wherever my Python file is. Clear?
Okay.
This math operation, I'm having test1, test2, test3. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose my test1 is expecting two variables. My test2 is not expecting any variables. Suppose I know what is the use of each function. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Just let's run this math operation first. What will happen?
Nothing.
It is telling you that there are three things: test1 and n1 is not defined. So when I call this, you make sure that you are passing the functions. Suppose I'll just pass test. I'll take 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Again, it is acting up. How weird this is.
What do you mean by kernel?
Kernel, this one, man.
Huh?
The local host. You see a black window?
CMD.
No, this is not CMD. This is Anaconda kernel.
Okay. Like CMD.
It is similar to CMD, but this is called as local server.
Okay.
When you install Anaconda, no, and you launch a Jupyter notebook, it will give you like this. Okay.
Every thing has its own kernel. So kernel means nothing but something.
Local host. Pawan, you have to go on mute, man. There is background noise.
Sorry.
It means it's your own server.
Yeah, local server.
Local server.
This one. Okay. Now, when I run this, it is giving you no module name, math operation, and all. So let's get into it. Why it is acting so, I don't know. Let's see what is PWD. Okay, first of all, let's get back to this. Now PWD is your demo session and test of math operation of test I'm calling. It is giving you n1, n2, n3. Math operation of test of I get irritated with this. Even though it is not taking, how come it is possible? Okay. I did a mistake. Okay, now I understood what mistake I was doing. Okay, let's get back from mute, Pawan. You can unmute yourself now. Okay. First of all, sorry, I did a mistake. Here I called test1, right? I called test2. This is test1, test2. Okay. So when I call this here itself, it is expecting the variables to be present within this function. Okay. But if I don't call this here, these functions are reusable now. These functions, when I just navigate to my Python folder and I just call the Python file, let's see what all functions are there within this. It isn't telling you anything because you did not write a docstring. Suppose I write math operation dot and press a tab. Okay, you got math operation is holding three functions. One is test, second one is test1, third one is test2, and the default Python file. Agreed?
Yep.
This you guys saw somewhere when we wrote list dot something. It used to give append, clear, add, pop, something like that. So this math operation file has become a default class or a function in Python, right?
Okay.
For you, for your local machine, what you did, this math operation you have added to your library now. Understood?
Yep.
So now when you write test, it is expecting 3 variables because you have written a docstring. It will give you clearly, I'm doing this thing. Write the 3 variables. If you don't pass the 3 variables, it will not give you the answer. It will give you out. So when you have to take this 1, 2, 3, you got the answer, right? All the print statements and whatever functions you were doing, you got it. Clear?
Okay.
So when I write test1, sorry, after test1, press the shift tab again. It will say, okay, we did not write any docstring. That is our mistake. But you know it is here. Clearly 2 variables are expected. Let's pass 2, 3.
Can we give 4 and 5?
Ah, wonderful, man. Whatever you want to write.
Because I don't wanna. I wanna see like if the N2 and N3 are different from test and test1. It shouldn't matter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. See, this function is different. This function is different. There is no overlap, first of all.
Okay.
Now, see, this one, test1, you are testing whether both the variables are equal. You are writing a if condition. Okay.
Yep.
Now, this one, it expected 2 variables. We passed both the variables. Your function was n1 equal to n2 equal to n3. So your answer is false. Both are not same. If you would have given 4 and 4, your answer is same. Okay. Now math operation dot, one more was there. Let's see. Test2. Okay. It is not expecting any variables. You press a shift tab. There is no variables expected here. Let's assume you passed some variable. What will happen? Test2 takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. It is pretty simple, right? It is only telling you, I don't want any variables. Why are you passing me any variable? Remove that variable, run it. What we were doing in this, we were trying to print 0th element of the list L. Clear? Any questions? So you can do something like this also. Within this, for I in L, print L, but when you write it in Notepad, please be careful, man. You won't get this indents and all. Give it your manually. Print L if I equal to 2. Let's give it 2. Print I am breaking out when it is 2. Else print I am not 2. Just we will add whatever we have learned until now. A for loop, if condition. Let's see what will happen. So what you have written in this function, can you guys recode for me? One of you. Hello.
Yeah. So for the list 1, 2, 3, right? We are and at the first print we'll be printing 1, 2, 3 because it's just saying for I in L, and then we are checking in the after printing 1, 2, 3, it checks if 1, 2, if when it's 2, like when the I is equal to 2, then it will print I am breaking out when it's 2. It will break over there.
Okay, let's see what will be the answers for this Python function. First of all, save this.
I am breaking out of and I am not 2.
Okay, so if you don't run this math operation again, your math operation will be different. Your answer will be 1 only. Okay. You have modified the Python file over there, so you have to run this module again. Once you run this module, come to this math operation dot test2 and run your program. Let's restart this kernel.
Today is a
very weird day with my mission. Okay, let's go over here. Indentation errors. So that's why I would say always get your function into a Anaconda prompt or a IDE. See, that is my problem.
Control A, Control I. Just check whether it's work or not.
Control A, Control I. Here.
Yeah.
Control A, Control I. Nothing, man.
Control tab or something. Some function is there where some command is there where it will be everything. Okay, got it.
So let me fix this up here only. We will put that program over there. This shift and tab mix will be a problem in Notepad. So I don't encourage writing a program in Notepad. Instead, you can write in this. Okay.
Yeah, but there is a shortcut command. Using Selenium.
Okay. Okay, now the indents are correct. Any problem here? I'm just asking you. Let's take this program here. Save it up. Let's restart my kernel so that we will be safer side. Continue running. Okay, I'm importing this operation. Again, no. For I, okay, this wasn't expecting. I unnecessarily gave it. Okay. Okay, so you guys see it, right? So we were trying to print the loop.
Yeah.
Within the loop, I put a println. So first time it came inside the loop, the element was 1. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Because 1 is not equal to 2, it came to the else part. I am not 2. It went back to the second line for second iteration. For I in L, that means it is 2 in 1, 2, 3. Print of L. Print of L is 1, 2, 3 again.
Yeah.
Okay. I am breaking out when it is 2. So we told, okay, when it is 2, you break out, right?
Yeah.
So that's what. So now you see, you can write hundreds of functions like this, boss. You can write hundreds of functions like this, and you can just call the module. This Python file is a module for me now. It is having different functions inside it. One is a mathematical operator like n plus 1, n minus 1, n by 3, n into 3 or something like that. But this one, it is just a simple if condition. The third one, it is a loop, for loop or a while loop, whatever you want to write. So does this look pretty simple, right? You are not giving this control to anyone. You will not tell them, suppose Nagaraju, Pawan, both are one colleagues. Pawan has written this Python module. Okay. Pawan will tell to Nagaraju, you want to do any mathematical operators, just to import this Python file in your location wherever it is there. Okay, and then you just call the function test. Instead of test, you could name it as some mat op, suppose like this. Okay, let's run this, hoping this time it won't break out. Mat op is not there. Oh, kernel restart, clear output. So you will tell Nagaraju, see Nagaraju, you call this math operation. There is a function called matop. You just pass matop and you can pass whatever variables you want to. So Nagaraju won't even know what is there within this. Because I already told you list functions are already defined in Python. You will not go and dig into the C drive of Python, right?
Yeah.
So same way, you are controlling Nagaraju not to handle this file, but you are giving him the complete control of handling the variables. And his operation is done. So his operation was to just check, okay, 1 + 1 is 2, 1 + 2 is 3, something like that. See, support team, we give only the code. We don't show them the entire code, right?
Yeah.
So if you had to do, if Nagaraju had to do n1 is equal to 1, n2 is equal to 2, suppose something like that, something like this, then print off n1 plus n2. Is this programming better or is this programming better? Which is more applicable in real world?
The functions, because yeah, we would be. It's the major part is the reusability, right?
Correct. So when you write all the things in one particular Python file and you store that Python file, you call whatever function you want to use. Simple. You guys understood what is the use of a function, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but we had to do a lot of things because our questions were like further level. We jumped in directly into a module and then a function as well.
Sorry.
It's okay because Nagaraju got confused all of a sudden. Why are you speaking of a module?
So basically, yeah, we know how to use this, but to write the function is difficult task.
Yeah. No, Nagaraju, that's what I'm saying. See, Nagaraju, learning until if condition, while loops, for loops is the only challenge, Nagaraju. After that, writing this function is not difficult, man. You just take the syntax, you do whatever operation you want to.
Okay.
You understand, no? See, my program, if you take this entire program, this is just that robots that I built, no? If you see how big it is, let's see, let's just for your convenience.
Oh, you're building a robot.
This is 120 lines, okay? If you see one function, see, this is launch for launching the website. This is for logging in. This is for if there is any reset window pop-up. If you had different frames within the website. If you had default content within the website. If any list is open, you did not close it accidentally. And then the log off. See, these all are simple functions, right? 6 functions within this module. I won't give this control to anyone. This is a default thing. Whatever operation tomorrow you do, you log in, log out, you click some other buttons. I won't give this control. This is a basic file. Instead of this, if suppose tomorrow Nagaraju wants to click a few buttons, like only format window, and there is one more pop-up that you have to click, I will tell you import this module. See, this login log of monitor logger is there, no? This module, I am importing it here in the green highlight. Okay. Once you import that, I will tell Nagaraju just to write whatever you want to do. This is only the piece of code that Nagaraju is doing. But end of the day, again Nagaraju will call all my modules. This modules. So if I wouldn't have given this function to Nagaraju, he would have had to append 160 lines of code, 120 lines of code here again. This 62 lines of code until here, it would have become 180 lines of code. Agreed?
Yeah.
So the mistake part would have been huge. Instead, this file is a basic file. So this math operation file is similar like that. Understood?
Yeah.
And there is no difficulty. See, you should be perfect until the loop conditions. Operators, loops, everything, that's it. Writing a function is not at all difficult. My point is that. So we will see a lot of example with functions like list, playing function, while loop, for loop. We will see all those. But you guys understood the session, right, today? Even though my Chrome was acting up weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Chalo then. We will continue tomorrow. You guys would join tomorrow, right?
Yes. And really sorry for yesterday.
What happened? Okay. I woke up pretty early, man. You could have told me, I would have slept.
It was a last minute thing which I couldn't avoid.
See, if you both are okay, even Friday evening you don't want to join, you can tell me pretty ahead only.
Sure. It just does. This will not happen again. If there is anything, I will let you know, guys, before like a day before, so that yeah.
Okay, no problem. So, one request from my side. Today is a holiday for both of you, right?
Today, Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday.
Correct. Today is a holiday for both of you, right?
Yeah.
So, work on that exercise and give me the answers tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Those are pretty simple. Hardly it should take half an hour for you. But don't Google. First, put your effort, then get the answer.
Okay.
Okay, chalo then. We will see. Because I want you to practice today so that we will clear off the doubts tomorrow. If needed, we will take one extra session and we'll pack off tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, right then. Chalo, bye both of you.
Okay. Bye.